At a local hotel, Sergeant Yoder responded to a 911 call regarding a reported burglary. What began as a standard inquiry into a guest's safety quickly shifted as the subject's behavior became increasingly erratic and confrontational. This interaction would eventually raise significant questions regarding public intoxication statutes and the legal boundaries of a citizen's cooperation. Here is the body cam footage.
You got a 911 call?
Yeah, we were trying to answer the phone, but we're not able to. We have a guest in 217 that you guys brought in earlier. She's making
She's in 217?
Yes. And she's saying that someone was trying to, but the customer barely was checking in when she was blaming that he was trying to her.
Okay.
I was checking him in at that moment, and she said he was in his room trying to her. See how people make that stuff and then people get in trouble?
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you. Why police? Hello.
Hey.
Who's called?
Did you call 911?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
No, I called 911 on the person that was trying to breaking in my place.
Breaking into your place?
Yeah, not me.
Is there anybody here with you?
No, it's just my aunt on the phone.
Can I talk to her?
Yeah,
What's her name?
Evelyn.
Hey, Miss Evelyn, this is Sergeant Yoder. How are you?
All right. What's your name, ma'am? And you okay today? So give me a rundown of what all happened.
So somebody came into this room.
Okay. I'm listening.
I don't want to. Alright, so somebody came into this room, and
Okay.
I was like, alright, whatever, I got some tequila in here.
Okay. How much have you had to drink tonight? If you could guess.
Oh, I barely even opened the thing.
You barely even open it? Okay.
Yeah, it's over there.
All right. And you say you're the only one in here?
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been in this room?
Since yesterday.
Since yesterday?
I don't know. Why am I being investigated?
No, we're asking questions. You called us, right? So we have to do our job and ask questions.
He's the one that came in here.
Okay, give me a description. I'm trying to get a rundown of what all happened.
He was probably 6 foot, probably 6'5", right?
Okay, 6'5".
I can't describe him because, you are the way you are, and I am.
I'm the way what? I'm not understanding.
I can't describe him.
How can't you describe him? Just describe him.
I can't be like, he's white.
Yes, you can. That's called describing somebody that attacked you.
Okay. Well, he was of color.
Okay.
He was a taller dude.
Okay. When you say he was of color, what are you saying? Is he okay? There's race. So is it white, black, Hispanic? Don't touch me, ma'am. Is it white, black, Hispanic?
I'm not.
I'm asking questions.
I don't know I don't know what the proper terms are.
You don't know whether somebody is white, black,
He was a little bit darker than me, okay?
Okay.
But he came into my room, started drinking my dang tequila.
So he drank your tequila?
Yes.
Okay. So he ran into your house, drank your
But
tequila.
I also saw him earlier today.
You saw him earlier today?
Yes.
And what was that?
In the elevator.
You saw him in the elevator?
Yes.
Okay. What color was his hair?
The color was his hair. It was just dark.
It was dark.
Like,
Right.
you're like picking. No, you're crying. You're crying. I don't like it.
I'm crying when you said that somebody tried to harm
Can
you.
I get a white officer over here, please?
Ma'am?
Yes. Can I get a white officer over here?
You can call Officer Bruce.
No. I need a white officer.
She's asking for a white officer. So, okay. All right, well, let me see what I can figure out, okay?
All right, who are you talking to?
You're out?
Yeah.
All right, so what's going on?
This dude came into my room and like tried to almost me.
Who?
That I can't. I'm not saying it on y'all's body cams.
A person of color is what she told me.
Why won't you say it on the body camera?
I ain't saying. I ain't doing it.
So you went down to the lobby and talked to the clerk down there, and what did you tell the clerk?
I said somebody came to my room, and the same guy that I met in the freaking elevators earlier. I don't know what it was today or I don't know or yesterday. I don't know, but and he offered me shoes earlier today, and then now he is like trying to.
How is he trying to you? What is he doing?
He came in here and he came in here and tried to.
What did he do? How did he get in the door?
Oh, he just opened the door.
The door wasn't locked?
No, the door was locked.
So how did he get in?
No, I did not unlock it at all. No. I thought it was an officer. I thought it was an officer. So I unlocked it because I thought it was an officer. And that's the only reason I ever unlocked this door.
So there's nobody in there right now, right?
No, come on.
How much have you had to drink today?
Probably like 4 margaritas.
4 more minutes? Where
Yeah.
at? I was like, where? I was talking about a big room.
Well, I haven't drank all that yet. I was going to. I was going to get there.
Huh?
I was going to get there, but going to open the refrigerator and everything.
No, I was just looking where anybody could hide. Make sure nobody was in there. I got it.
I'm trying to open this while I open home the door.
So what is our plan for tonight? What are we gonna do?
I'm just going to bed.
Here's your phone. Are we done calling 911?
Yeah. All I do is stay away from this damn friggin'
If I knew who he was, I would.
217.
Huh?
137.
You don't know who he was?
I wasn't here. You can't give me no good description. You said you wouldn't tell us on Bodycam.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
What? What do I have?
How old are you?
I'm 32, but I know what the fuck. So he's like this tall, but I can't say
Yes, you can.
no, I can't say anything.
It would help our investigation if
No,
you did.
I can't, but I
Let
can't.
me go down and talk.
All right.
You know good and well. It's not.
I don't. That's why I'm asking questions, because I really don't know. You won't give me a description.
Give me. Hold on. Let me get the card. What you? All right, homeboy. What's going on?
I don't know. You tell me. You still haven't given us a description yet.
You won't tell me?
I don't know, because you haven't given me a description.
I'm a dick nurse. I know how it goes.
Okay, if you're a nurse, then you should be able to identify people by their race.
Yeah, I know.
So, what is the race?
And I know how it goes.
So what's the race? What's the description of the person?
And now we identify people by the race. I'm about to call my daddy right now.
Help us to help you, ma'am. How can we help you if you don't give us a description of the person?
I'm about to call my mom. I'm sitting here with two officers who I'm trying to get my freaking dad on the phone with because they're freaking, oh my goodness. I need my dad on the phone, but he won't answer the phone.
Hey, ma'am, Miss Amy, lower your voice, please.
Because it's like a Fox News like civil pursuit like going on right now. It's like a black and white, and I don't want to say it's black and white because when I'm on camera. But I need my dad. I need my dad. I need my dad because I was almost by somebody of color, but I can't say anything.
Don't touch me, ma'am.
I can't. No, I'm not touching you.
Don't touch me.
I can't touch him. I can't touch him, and I can't
Don't
cover
touch me,
his
please.
camera, and I can't say anything until.
All right, Miss Amy.
Hold on.
All right, Miss Amy. So, may I just stand up for me? Turn around.
I'm holding.
I got you. I need you. Just stand up. Turn around for me. Turn around for me.
No.
Stop.
They're arresting me. Why?
I'll explain everything to you in just a minute.
Why?
Stop.
Why? Evelyn.
This man's working.
Stop. Don't break your wrist.
What are you arresting me for? What are you arresting me for?
You got smaller wrists, so it needs to be still so it don't get broke.
No. What am I getting arrested for?
Explain everything to you in just a moment, okay?
No, I know. I need to know right now. Because
We're gonna check and make sure you don't have any weapons on you, any
I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing but his freaking shirt and pants on.
We're calling.
Evelyn, help me! Call my lawyer!
All right.
Evelyn!
Yeah, you where your shoes at?
I don't have no shoes.
All right.
What are you arresting me for?
I'll explain everything to you when we get there.
No, damn! You tell me right now!
Here, we're gonna put your shoes on, okay?
No! What are you arresting me for?
Get the rap.
Yes, I have the right to. What are you arresting me for?
Shoe on.
Oh my God! What are you arresting me for?
Go on, put your shoe on.
What are you arresting me
All right,
for?
let's walk.
Public intoxication.
Get public intoxication, disturbing the peace, okay?
That'll get through the justice system faster than my DUI that has been a year and a half.
All right.
I don't know how to get in here.
Yep, just take your time.
That covers the events as they unfolded on the scene. Now, let's dive deeper into the post-incident breakdown to analyze the legalities, the specific actions taken by everyone involved, the key lessons we can all learn from this encounter. The legal framework of this interaction begins with the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution, which protects citizens against unreasonable searches and seizures. Under the landmark case of Terry versus Ohio, an officer may perform a brief investigatory stop when they have reasonable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. In this instance, the sergeant was responding to a call for service initiated by the subject herself, which granted the initial legal authority to enter the premises and conduct an inquiry. However, the focus of the investigation shifted as the subject's physical state and level of impairment became apparent. The central legal issue revolves around Tennessee Code Section 39.17.305, which governs public intoxication. To establish probable cause for an arrest under this statute, an officer must observe that the individual is under the influence of a controlled substance or intoxicant to a degree that they may endanger themselves or others, or be a nuisance to those in the vicinity. The subject's admission to consuming 4 margaritas, combined with her erratic behavior and inability to provide a coherent description of a suspect, provided the officer with the necessary legal threshold to effectuate a custodial arrest. Furthermore, we must analyze the use of force through the lens of Graham versus Connor. This Supreme Court decision established that the reasonableness of a particular use of force must be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene rather than with 20/20 hindsight. Sergeant Yoder maintained a professional reactionary gap and used only the minimum amount of force necessary to secure the subject in handcuffs once the decision to arrest was made. His tactical positioning allowed him to maintain control of the environment while attempting to de-escalate the subject's growing hostility. The subject's refusal to provide a description of the alleged attacker on camera raises significant investigative hurdles. While individuals generally have a Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, refusing to provide information as a reporting witness can impede a lawful investigation. The subject also requested a white officer, a demand that has no legal standing under the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause, as law enforcement must be administered in a colorblind manner to ensure the safety of all citizens. Overall evaluation and grading. Sergeant Yoder receives a grade of B+. He demonstrated remarkable patience and followed departmental policy regarding intoxicated persons. His decision to arrest was legally sound and tactically appropriate given the subject's escalating disturbance within the hotel. He remained objective despite the subject's racially charged requests and maintained a high level of professionalism throughout the encounter. The subject, Amy, receives a grade of D-. Her actions were a textbook example of how not to interact with law enforcement. By calling 911 while heavily intoxicated and then refusing to cooperate with the responding officers, she effectively wasted emergency resources. Her lack of compliance and verbal aggression turned a legitimate investigation into a criminal arrest for her own conduct. Her behavior significantly hindered the safety of the hotel guests and the officers involved. Lessons learned. This incident highlights the critical importance of remaining sober and coherent when reporting a crime. Citizens must understand that while they have rights, those rights do not include the authority to create a public disturbance or demand specific racial characteristics of responding officers. For law enforcement, this case reinforces the need for steady de-escalation techniques when dealing with intoxicated individuals who may be suffering from substance abuse. Thank you for watching this in-depth legal analysis. If you found this breakdown informative, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below with your thoughts on the case. Your support helps us continue providing high-quality educational content on police procedures and constitutional law.